There is another scenario of the worship of the Queen of Heaven. She is also part of the teraphims. If you go to the book of Jeremiah chapter 44, because of time I want to see where I can pick it up. Jeremiah chapter 44. Let's start from let's start from 18. Jeremiah chapter 44 from 18. Say, but since we left off to burn incense to the Queen of Heaven and to pour out drink offering unto her, we have wanted all things and have been consumed by the sword and by famine. And when we burn incense to the Queen of Heaven and to pour out drink offering unto her, did we make her cakes to worship her and pour out offering unto her without our men. When you read the book of Jeremiah, when you start from chapter 1, you go down, you will realize that there is a contention that the people in this context have a terrible situation in their worship of idols. They worship what is referred to as the Queen of Heaven. And to make the matter worse, this Queen of Heaven demands for the lives of their children. In fact, the Queen of Heaven demands that they go sacrifice their children in daytime unto her. So to make the matter worse, they can decide and say, okay, next week you will take your daughter and born to the Queen of Heaven. Another week we will take your own daughter and born. Another week we will take your own daughter. And people were foolish enough to donate their children. What did they want? They just wanted to be able to prosper. In their quest for prosperity, they were willing to give up their children. Some even gave up themselves in the service of a queen in heaven. But according to scripture, the more they did that, the more the anger of God was kindled towards them. The more God was angry towards them, the more God brought famine to them. The more God brought destruction unto them. You know, sometimes we have tried God so good and it seems as if God is not working. And they told you, Kai, there is one place, so the man is not a man of God and is not a man of the devil. He's just a traditionalist. Do you know how they used to put them? It's not of God, it's not of the devil, but he used his skills. So he entered the bush in the afternoon, he entered the bush in the night. When he come back, he concoct some things. But I assure you, when you take these things, every problem will go. He can take away the other problem, but you add another problem. That's what I don't know. My problem is not the problem you have. The problem is the other problem you will get after that one has gone. I know a woman that had malaria. She went and took something and malaria left and other things came. The Queen of Heaven was referred to as the mother of Jesus, because they look upon it as God as a mother. And God has a mother, and sometimes she appears in the sky. And when she appears in the sky, anything she demanded, she should be given. When you go and read the book of Jeremiah, you see that that was one of the things that the prophet confronted in his time. There were people that were bowing down to the Queen of Heaven. It was like the similitude of what you see the Catholic try to do now. But in that day, what they believed was that God has a mother. And because God has a mother, there are times she appears in the sky. And when she appears in the sky, everybody must donate anything they can donate to her. So the best thing they can give sometimes is to give their children. Just like the king that Israel were fighting war and he discovered Israel were winning, he carried his son and donated to God in heaven, and the battle was changed. So now this one, now anytime she appears, people will pack everything and the burning offering onto her. But it was realized that it was actually a demonic spirit that was behaving as her. So a season can appear, a demonic spirit can just appear in the sky, and everybody and give a shape of a. I learned recently that there was a time the cloud turned to something like that, and people went and gathered there. They were bowing down to the cloud, just because the cloud made a sign of the cross. Diviners in your village can make rain to fall. Talk more of making a cloud, making a sign of a cross. You will bow down to the household of teraphims without knowing. Many years ago, in our pursuit for God, one of my friends took me through all these astral realms of operation. We didn't know we entered into astrology. And every day we will go at night, wake up 2 o'clock, we check. We want to see the star of David, the star of David. So every day we wake up.